Good afternoon and welcome to the Radio Concert Hall here at the Zoomerplex with our very special guest, David Krystal, this afternoon. We're looking forward to hearing David's music. You may be familiar with David's music, or you may not be. If not, actually, you may be more familiar with his music than you think you are, and I'll tell you more about that coming up in just a moment. But we're here to explore what David calls a little R&B, a little soul. I just call it great music, and I'm glad you're here as part of the Radio Concert Hall series at the Zoomerplex with David Krystal.
You say your world is out of control. You say the road you take, baby, is taken its toll. You say your face says it all. But I say I'll catch you, baby, before you fall. We laugh, we cry, but we seem to get on by. Don't ever wonder why. Love isn't wasted, me and you. We can make it through. Love is no fool. You can take for a ride. Love will vanish, baby. Let it slide, let it slide, let it slide away. Don't let it slide away. Don't let it slide, let it slide, let it slide away. I say your eyes, they give me hope. I say your smile, baby, makes me wanna stay a while. I said take it, let's make it, don't waste it this time. Don't break it, yes we'll make it, put it all behind. Somebody laughs, somebody cries, but we seem to get on by. Don't ever wonder why. Love isn't wasted, me and you. Love is the only way we can make it through. Love is no fool. You can take for a ride. Baby, let it slide, let it slide, let it slide away. Don't let it slide. Don't let it slide. take a ride. Love will vanish, baby. Let it slide, let it slide, let it slide away. Don't let it slide. Don't let it slide away. Don't let it slide away. Don't let it slide, let it slide, let it slide away. Can you see me through the mist between your eyes? Can you tell me where the region of the lies? And I notice that you have on you false pride. See yourself a messiah with a cruel and bloody pride. And I will never know what makes you who you are. How can you ever feel this way when you're a resurrected soul? You don't care what you say or what you do. They don't care who lives or what is true. I'll stay in your arms so I can turn away. Say it was a bad dream Thank you. Thank you very much.
David Krystal. David Krystal from All the Colors, resurrected Czar, and Love is Wasted just before that. We're going to take a break, come back in just a moment and talk to David about his music and a few other things as well. Here live from the Zoomerplex, it's the Radio Concert Hall series.
At what age did you realize you could write lyrics?
Music came first for me, so I definitely, around the age of about 11, I actually started sort of playing around and not doing what my piano teacher told me to do, and started making up music. Lyrics is a whole, I believe, another kind of mindset, and I think the maturity of being a bit older, probably in my sort of late teens when I started doing that.
Time for one more question?
Great music, by the way. Great music, by the way. I'm just wondering, you're very welcome. I'm just wondering, did you start playing your instrument first before you start singing, or vice versa, or together?
It's a funny one. I did start playing piano, but at a very early age, I was just started to sing. And now I actually can't practice that much without singing. I don't know, just sort of, it's funny how these things are instinctive. And it just happened. It's your intro.
30 seconds to air, 30 seconds. And David, just try to speak it.
Whoops. Oh, there I go again. Yeah, thanks.
15 seconds to air.
My God. What a klutz.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, in 5, in 5.
We are here at the Radio Concert Hall at the Zoomerplex with David Krystal. I'm with Neil Headley from the Happy Gang with an afternoon of great music with David. And nice to have you here, David.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thanks
Lovely
for coming.
to be here.
One of the questions that we wanted to ask you is about, a few things. Your music in particular. I think you described it as new modern soul. I think I read that somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I've always had, growing up in England, we always listened to Tamla Motown and Stax Records. I think, being a London boy, we were influenced very, very early on that. So I think that's always been in my blood. And a lot of English singers and Irish singers, we really have that connection to soul music. So, I'm trying to put a just slight different, slant on what I do.
Go ahead.
Now, how long has Toronto been on your radar? Because you said you grew up in London, but you've been in Toronto for a long time now.
I've been here a long time. I moved here in '79, so that's a long time.
And, I mean, it was... Was it your own music that brought you here, or was
I
it?
was in bands in England. After university in England, I got into bands, and I actually got into one of the first. It was already quite successful. They never made it really, but it was a fantastic apprenticeship for me. It was called G.T. Moore and the Reggae Guitars. And it was one of the first white reggae bands, and they were amazing. And so I supported them at a local sort of pub that was a big bar scene at the time. And they just needed a keyboard player, and 2 weeks later I'm playing reggae Hammond organ, which I'd never played in my life. And I'm in Holland with crazy Dutch people. And it was absolutely harrowing but wonderful. And that was my apprenticeship. People that I played with, the drummer was called Steve Holly. He went on to play in the last Wings venture with Paul McCartney and played with many other. So for me, it was, as a young kid, it was an incredible apprenticeship. And then I had my own band, and then I came to Canada and I had little bands here as well.
The next song you're going to play, Say You Love Me.
Yep.
Big hit in Europe.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about it. What's the song about?
The song is about, actually, it's funny because Say You Love Me, you think it's a nice, happy love song, but it's actually a song that concerns a friend of mine. When we were about 17 years old, he suddenly had a mental breakdown. He went into a psych ward, and one of my visits there, he was telling me how much he thinks the nurse loves him. So it's actually him singing to his nurse, who probably doesn't even know who he is, but he just wanted that love. He needed that love.
All right. David Krystal, Say You Love Me from All the Colors here at the Zoomerplex, live from the Radio Concert Hall on Zoomer Radio.
I ain't listening to what you have to say. I'm just living alone in my yesterday. I don't know what's going on in my mind. You seem to be so concerned, so kind. Why don't you come closer, look into my eyes? Why don't you see my mind is out of control? This is what have become no surprise. I try to forget what's in my soul. Say you love me, baby. Live for another day, yeah. Say you love me, baby. It's all you have to say. Say you love me, baby. Live for another day, yeah. Say you love me, baby. It's all you have to say. Somebody shouts out my name now. Somebody falls onto the floor. Somebody laughs, it's just a game. I just wanna know where I can find the door. I can see your lips moving up and down, but I can't make out, there's no sound. I can even feel my hurt, but I can dive into sorrow and drown. Say you love me, baby. Live for another day, yeah. Say you love me, baby. It's all you have to say. Say you love me, baby. Live for another day, yeah. Say you love me, baby. It's all you have to say. another day. Say you love me, baby. That's all you have to say. Say you love me, baby. Live for another day. Say you love me, baby. That's all you have to say.
Thank you.
You love me, David Krystal from All the Colors. We're live here at the Zoomerplex Radio Concert Hall series. I mentioned off the top that you may be a little more familiar with some of David's work than you think you are. We're going to talk about that very shortly here at the Radio Concert Hall, Zoomer Radio. Let's check the drive.
That time again, we are 4 minutes. 4 minutes there, 4 minutes. Anybody have any other questions?
It's always that side. What's it? Is this planned?
Hi. Is there a certain location or time of day or place that inspires you most when you write?
It's funny, you know. It's not really a time of day. I'm usually a day person, so it would be a day. We go away to Mexico every year for a month, and I love writing there in San Miguel. And I do pre-production there for these albums. So that's a great place. I think sometimes getting out of your own environment, that, you know, the dishes need to be washed kind of thing, and that mentality, which I have. So I think it's really that's it. I mean, just trying to get away from, and it really channel. If you haven't got a schedule of someone telling you what to do, it's your own schedule. So I think you have to find those places. Aha, the other side. I like that.
How has your music evolved over the years, and how do you see your progression?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I think because I've been a producer for a long time, I was doing that in production, had my own studios and things. I think that's really affected me in a lot of ways, on the technical side of things. But on the actual creative side of things, it's just, it's like anything. You just get better as you go along. So I think you evolve, and the influences you hear, some still from my youth, but also current stuff that I listen to. I think that's how it evolves. I think you just got to keep reinventing yourself. I think it's really important.
We're 60 seconds there, 60 seconds.
Okay.
So that was our last question.
Another interview, of course. Sorry. The tough question.
1 minute there, 1 minute.
Did you write that
I wrote everything. That's mine.
15 seconds. That's so scary. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, in 5. Big applause, big applause.
It's the Radio Concert Hall series at the Zoomerplex with David Krystal this afternoon. I'm Norm Edwards with Neil Headley. Nice to have you here. I mentioned a moment ago that we might be a little more familiar with some of your work than we thought we were, because you've actually written a few jingles from time to time.
I did indeed for a long time.
Well, that was the bulk of what you were focusing on for a long time, wasn't it?
Yeah, mainly I had a music production house, and for probably close to 30 years, 25 to 30 years, I can't remember now. A lot of my work was writing commercials and producing commercials and some films and TV.
See, and we'll get into the film stuff in a second, Norm, because I want to go places with this with you. But here's what fascinates me, among the things, David, that fascinates me about you, is you are, obviously, no offense intended, but you're a Zoomer, right? You know, you're not well, yeah.
Oh,
okay. So you're not a kid. You had this monstrous career in the ad industry that you spent, like you just said, 25 or 30 years on, and then shifted gears. And for all of us in this building, I mean, we spend so much time focusing on Zoomers and not being afraid to try new things, not being afraid to shift gears and change things up a little bit. And I mean, for those of us in this room, some of the stuff you wrote when you were doing jingles and commercial work and stuff, it's stuff that we all know by heart. And you and I were talking off the air about a couple of examples that as soon as people, really, he wrote that? What was the...
You've always got time for Tim Hortons.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Like, how do you be in Canada and not know the Tim Hortons jingle?
Written by an English bloke.
But, I mean, Tim Hortons is just among them. I mean, you've done stuff for... Go ahead, name drop.
Well, God, I can't remember. But I've done, Coke, everything, beers, you name it. Accelerate your breath. Oh, Lisa hates that one over. But
so here's the question, and it might seem obvious in one way, but the difference between writing a catchy jingle and a song. And I know a jingle is 30 seconds and a song is 2.5. But once you get the hook either way, is that it?
Well, in the early days when I started writing in the early 80s, mid 80s, and around that time, everything was kind of like a mini song. We'd go to the studios, we'd have, all the clients would see the musicians. The clients wouldn't even hear. The ad agency, I'd play it on piano, and they'd go, great, we love it, we'll sell it to the client. So then we'd go in the studio. Everybody would be in the control room looking at the musicians, and then the singers came in. It was a happening. It was like entertainment. And then it all changed after a while. Technology came in, and nowadays, I was doing a voiceover just the other week, and the clients never see a musician anymore. It's much more programmed stuff. They're more interested in just the voiceover. So the whole emphasis changed. And I think I just wanted to... I was getting tired of the new ways things were being done, and I wanted to get back to my roots, which was writing songs, which I've always been doing anyway.
I hope you're getting some royalties for those chocolate dip donuts.
Oh, not anymore. I get paid in chocolate dip donuts.
It's paid in sprinkles.
That's right. Yeah.
I've got to watch my weight. I'm really a very skinny guy.
Your next song is "I Will Be Yours." You wrote something on your website. Let me get it out because I want to make sure I get the quote right. When it comes to exploring themes, the loss of memory itself, and how time erodes. I took that to mean that sometimes when you're in a relationship that you're no longer in, maybe you remember the good stuff and not so much the bad? Is it something like that?
Yeah, there is one song I had, we're not doing it today, but there's one song called Time, and that explores how time is this companion you have. In the beginning of your life, you don't ever kind of, come on, let's have a beer. By the end, you're moving to, my age, and then you think, oh, God, that guy's here, and he's dragging you along on a railway train. So I explore those themes, and memory comes into it as well, remembering the good times and the bad times, and so that does come into it.
Yeah. Well, we tend to remember more of the good times.
We tend to.
Sometimes rather than the bad times.
Yeah.
When you write, Neil has been programming a lot of your music these last few weeks or so, and I've become I become a big fan.
Oh, thanks.
Because it is music that comes from the soul and from the heart. Do you write about personal experiences?
It's I explore the different shades. I called my album All the Colors, and that's really about the different emotions that I'm exploring. And, you know, I do write about love, but as in Say You Love Me, it's a different slant. So every kind of love song, or it could be about love that is rescuing you, like Love Isn't Wasted is like a rescue love song. So, and so I explore those different themes on that.
What's this next song?
This one's called And I Will Be Yours. And this is desperate.
Desperate?
Desperate love. I need you back, baby.
Oh, well, we know all about that.
Well, okay. Desperate love. All right, more music here from David Krystal at the Zoomer Radio Concert Hall.
Jealousy can make you mad, turns us into lonely fools. Righteousness is just as bad, baby. Someone that can be so cruel. But I can see what's in your eyes. I can see what it can be. Beauty that never hides and shines for all to see. See, you will be mine. Say you will be, a love is all. I will be yours. I will be yours. Say you will be my love, loving all it can be. Loving all in your day, loving all you will see. You will see me right through the long and lonely nights. See, you'll be mine. Say you will be, our love is all. And I will be yours. And I will be yours. Down here on my knees, here I am begging you, please. Can we just begin again? Feel my hurt, my fear. I got
David Krystal, I Will Be Yours from All the Colors. By the way, All the Colors is an EP.
Yeah.
Extra play, I think is what that, or something like that.
God, what is
Or
that?
it used to be
we used to call it extended play.
extended
Extended
play.
play.
Yeah.
Extended play.
Yeah, I wanted to bring out like some songs that I had and that I just finished. I thought I'd bring this out as a kind of a taste for the album that's going to be out next spring, I hope. So
That'll be
there's
on the
5
spring?
songs on this EP. Yeah.
So this is kind of a little teaser.
A teaser. That's a good way. Yep,
So
absolutely.
it should have been TP, teaser play.
TP. Yeah.
Well, just before you played that song, we started talking about the jingle work and some of the other stuff you've done in your career. And we touched on really quick TV and soundtrack work in movies. I don't even know what that process is like. I mean, does a director come and run to you that you're working on a film and they say, all right, in this scene, the main character is going to run through a field. Go!
Yeah.
Like, how do you come up with music for something like that?
Well, for films, it's very different than you either write a song in a commercial or you do a post score. So it's a lot of you do cuts and you work it all out and you get all the hits. With movies, it's different. You get themes. You work with themes first. You don't necessarily have to write for a particular scene, but you get ideas in and then you start developing that. And then, if there need be, like there's some movies that, that definitely that you have to get some hits in. So, but the first thing you do is to really create themes. And then you talk to directors and producers who are ever involved.
What kind of music would you write if Neil and I were action heroes in a movie?
Oh, my God. I think something like sort of a Chinese karate movie.
I think it fits.
Yeah, that's it.
No, that's it.
All right, we'll be back with more of David Krystal and his music here at the Radio Concert Hall Series at the Zoomerplex. Let's check the drive once again. We are here at the Zoomerplex. It's the Radio Concert Hall Series with David Krystal. The EP is All the Colors. Isn't this great? I love this music.
It is, and it's great to have you in here. We're going to get a song here that if you've been listening to Zoomer Radio for any length of time, especially the last couple months, you've heard this song. We've played it all over the place. This was the first song of yours that I heard, other than the Tim Hortons jingle. And this was the song that 10 or 15 seconds into it, I just went, I love this because on the album, the production is beautiful.
Well,
I
thank you.
love everything about this song. Some People, what's it about?
It's as the title suggests, it's about people that kind of annoy you a lot. So it's that and trying to get away from that. And that's really simply what it's about.
Does that include family?
No. I'm not saying anything.
Oh.
I plead whatever they do, the fifth or something.
Yeah, I'm not going home tonight.
David Krystal here and Some People at the Zoomer Radio Concert Hall Series.
Some people wanna sweet talk you into dreams made of candy cane. Gotta say no, float back down to the ground. Don't get hit by that runaway train. And some people just seem to talk all the time. Don't give you the time of day. Got tan lies and her white deceits. Don't look in the right, just turn away. Give me time, time to breathe. Let me feel, I can believe. Let me try to think. Give us mercy so we don't sink. Give us mercy. Some people wanna bring you down, yes. Make you feel like giving up. You know that's no way to go. Don't have to drink from that cup. What's going round and round, you know, makes you dizzy just to think. Must be this crazy world we're living in, close to the edge, on the brink. Give me time, time to breathe. Let me feel, I can believe. Let me try to think. Give us mercy so we don't sink. Give us mercy. Show us mercy. Give us mercy. Time, time to breathe. Let me feel, I can believe. Let me try to think. Give us mercy so we don't sink. Give us mercy.
Thank you.
Oh, my baby, she loves me so. Oh, my baby, she won't ever let me go. When the sun touches my face, I will not be alone. When the moon embraces my soul, return back home. When the light heals the restless night, I will feel at peace. When she sings to me, I will be released. Oh, my baby, loves me so. Oh, my baby, she won't ever let me go. Oh, my baby, why don't you hold my hand? Oh, my baby, take me to the promised land. When the light heals the restless night, I will feel at peace. When she sings to me, I will be released. Oh, my baby, she loves me so. Oh, my baby, she won't ever let me go.
David Krystal here at the Zoomerplex. David, thank you so much. That was terrific. Absolutely loved it. All the colors available online. Google David Krystal with a K.
With a K,
And I hope we'll
K-R-Y.
see you back here at the
Yeah.
Zoomerplex real soon.
Thank you very much.
We're going to check the drive and more coming up here from the Zoomerplex. It's the Radio Concert Hall series on Zoomer Radio.